Hello, everyone. This is Dave Horner with Small Town Life, part of the Studio 25 podcast network. And we've got Korina Moss here, an author who is going to be in town in Little Falls here shortly. Korina, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's got to get kind of cheesy, I think, right?
Absolutely.
Because we're talking the Cheese Festival October 4th here in Little Falls, and you're going to be attending that. And so I want people to know just a little bit about you first, where you grew up and who you are.
Sure. Well, I'm very excited. This is my first cheese festival, so I'm super excited to be coming. I live in Connecticut right now, but I grew up in Hudson Valley, New York, in Wappinger Falls. And so I love New York. It's close to my heart. I'm very excited to go up to Little Falls. I don't think, obviously I've been to, more upstate New York, but not Little Falls in particular. So I'm excited to see it.
So you just skipped exit 29A. You just went right past
Yes.
this, didn't you?
Yeah. Up to Niagara and up to Seneca.
Yeah. Just blew past us like
Blue
most
Pass.
people.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not this time.
So growing up, you grew up in the Hudson Valley then?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So I have four sisters and a brother, and we grew up in Wappingers. And then part of my family, my parents and I'm the youngest, moved to Texas when I was 16. So they dragged me there pretty much.
You
And
can't drag me out of there. I was there 37 years. I can't
who are
believe this.
you?
Everybody I talked to have been to Texas. I had another guest on earlier today, and she was in Houston.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Wow.
like, and
Oh
then
my gosh.
last week, the president of Herkimer County Community College, and she was in Texas, and then Nashville a long time. I'm like, let's say y'all, and let's make it feel good.
Right. Small world, small world. Yeah. So I lived in Austin and for my last few years of high school. And then I went to college at Texas Tech University in Lubbock, Texas.
Oh, good Lord, my grandson just started there.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh,
he did.
congratulations.
He started there last month. Yep. Oh, geez. All right, this is getting weird.
Great experience. And then I was thinking about going to graduate school and kind of missing the North and always wanted to try New England. So I went to University of New Hampshire for just a little bit. And I dropped out of going to grad school in psychology to, be a writer. And so it was only 40 years later that I finally became a
Oh, good
published,
Lord.
you
Well,
know,
was it like a childhood dream that you wanted to be a writer? I mean, what did you want to
it
do when you're
was.
growing up?
It was. And I revered writers so much that I just didn't feel like it was a reality. It was almost like saying, oh, I'm going to go to Hollywood and be an actress. For me, to be a writer felt like that. So I never really pursued it until when I was in graduate school for psychology. Because again, writing didn't feel like something that I could really be. I met a young woman who was in the writing program, and I thought, oh, if I had the guts, I would be doing that. And as the program was going along, I was just not feeling it. And I thought, okay, I just want to try this out. I just want to try it. So I did. And then, I learned a lot along the way. I got, a couple of short stories published. But then, life gets in the way. You're working, you're, getting married, having a child. And so it wasn't until much later in life that I really, really, took stock and thought, oh gosh, this dream of someday being a writer. Well, some days kind of now. I'm getting there, So
Well,
I
you know,
really put a plan into place to make it happen, to really make it happen.
yeah. I mean, it's a risky kind of
Oh,
dream,
sure.
right?
It's
Because
very
you
difficult.
know you want to be a policeman, fireman. The lady on earlier wanted to be a lawyer. You
Right.
know, grew up wanting to be a lawyer, and you know there's paychecks associated with those.
Exactly.
Writer is a lot tougher. That's like I
It
want to be a
is.
painter, and if you're not worth the darn, you don't
Exactly,
get money,
exactly.
right?
It's very hard, and it's not, you can't check off the boxes like college where, hey, if you go your 4 years and you get good grades, you end up here, and a lot of jobs are like that. Not to downplay how hard people work to do a job well, but it's not like that. And the more I'm into it, and now being published by Macmillan, it it's not all about how well you write. In fact, it's, maybe half of that is about how well you write. The other half is marketing, and, if you've got a good idea and if people want to read it, and all, there's so many other things, and luck. Luck plays a part as well.
Wow. So you get out of college, you had life, whatever. What got you to thinking I can really make this happen? I mean, was there a trigger moment or somebody you met or somebody said something? What happened?
No, I got divorced and turned 50. Yeah, and turned 50, and moved out of my home, that, we had been married for about 25 years. So, uh, turning 50 and that happening all at once was a huge, like, a life shift, obviously. And I thought, okay, what am I going to do now? I mean, I had a son who was about 12, and I knew that, I was a stay-at-home mom for a long time. And so I just thought, okay, now is my time to either go back to school or, try something. And I thought, if I don't really put 100% into this now, this will be my one regret on my deathbed, that I didn't really go for it. And so I just made a plan. Like, before it was a dream, and this time it was a goal. This time it was, I made a plan, and I was going to make it happen. And, again, I think in hindsight it was luck, but I really feel like you need that kind of, perception about it in order to make it work. Because a dream is more like, oh, wouldn't it be nice? A goal is like, I'm going to pivot and do what I need to do to make this happen. And so by doing that, I got into the writing community. I'm a mystery writer, so I joined Sisters in Crime, which is an international community of mystery writers and crime writers. And I, went to, there was a library that had several authors that wrote the kind of mysteries that I wanted to write. So I just peppered them with a million questions, and I got to know people that were at where I wanted to be. And so it, again, like, I was a good enough writer, but I didn't know enough about checking all the boxes as far as being in my genre, as far as what agents were looking for, and really kind of how to do the business part of it. And that's what I learned, and all the support of being in, an author community.
Do you think it's possible to make it to independently publish, or do you really have to sit down, have that plan, and make those connections like you did?
You mean independently published, like without making connections, or not track?
Yeah, I mean, today you can
Oh,
create a
sure,
book,
sure.
upload it to Amazon, and cross your fingers, and
And I know
right.
a lot of people who do that, and it is a valid way to be published. There are pros and cons to that, and some of the cons are that it takes even more marketing to get your name out there, because you're in with a sea of other, in my case, mysteries. You If you're an independently published, you likely will not get into bookstores. Your books will not get into bookstores. And except for the 100 people or whatever that know you, uh, you might not get beyond that. Although I do have some friends who have learned a lot, again, having community, have learned a lot, and have, if you prepare yourself and market yourself and get in touch with independent booksellers, even Barnes and Noble, all of the, book bloggers and the conference, and go to your the mystery conferences and all of that, and get in touch. Then you can do the marketing in the right way, and then you can start to grow yourself. It's not
Okay.
impossible,
Okay.
but it's just harder. It's harder.
Harder. All right. So how did you decide on the genre? Is that what you always wanted to write, was mystery, or?
Always wanted to write mysteries. That's what kind of I grew up on. Nancy Drew, Agatha Christie. I did read a lot of Stephen King horror, but knew that that's something I'd ever actually time in my head in. So yeah, I just always wanted to write mysteries. And then as I got older, I was reading a subgenre of that called cozy mysteries. And these are like the Murder, She Wrote, that you might have seen on TV.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's an amateur sleuth. The police are there, but they're not the ones solving it. It's an amateur sleuth. There's a theme to it, whether it's a shop, like mine isn't a cheese shop, whether it's a hobby like knitting or something like that. It's more about solving the puzzle. There's no gore. There's very little or none swearing. It's kind of, I like to call it a nice mystery, a nice murder.
Clean mystery,
Clean,
clean
yeah.
murder.
Yeah, it actually, I've gotten many messages from people who have read my books during difficult times, and you wouldn't think, oh, a murder mystery you would read to make yourself feel good, but they're cozy, right? But the cozy aspect of it is that it's comforting. The rest of the book is very comforting. It's people that the series characters are people you want to hang around. The town is someplace, except for those pesky little murders, that you'd want to live in. And, whatever the case may be, like mine is, focuses on cheese and the cheese shop. And so there's a lot of that talk, a lot of cheese recipes being made. And it's just very cozy, and it feels good.
But how'd you come up with the cheese theme?
So cheese, you have to have a theme where there is comforting, like I said, where it's cozy, where it's also communal, like, people can gather around something, and also that it's something that you can kind of educate people on, or have some fun tips about that maybe people wouldn't know, but that they're also very familiar with and maybe have an opinion on. So like very few people are just meh about cheese. There are a few people who can't eat it for dairy reasons, some people who might hate certain types of cheese, but I would say 98% of people that I've ever spoken to about cheese loves cheese. They want to talk about the cheese they love. They, even if they hardly know anything about it, they're in love with cheese. And that's what you want to draw, people into a cozy mystery, is a theme that they can really get behind.
Huh, that's interesting. And so in the books, are you giving out like real cheese recipes and things? Is that part of the hook?
Yes, I have my main character, Willa Bauer. Once in a while, she'll make something. Of course, I won't go through it in the book. It's quicker than that because it is a mystery. But at the end, I offer 3 of the recipes of the cheesy meals that she's made in the book. I put them in the back of the book so people can make them as well.
Oh wow, so it's a cookbook too. You murder
Yeah,
somebody and then
sure.
you get free food. I love
Right.
it. So it's a series, right? It's not just
It
one
is.
book.
Yes. There are
How many
6
books
books.
are there? 6
There are,
books.
yeah, 6 in total. Yes. And so each mystery is in and of itself in the book. Each mystery is wrapped up with each book. You can start at any book that you want. There is a slight character arc and relationship arcs throughout the series, going from book 1 through book 6. But many people, have discovered my books, at any time, 3, 4, 5, 6, and enjoyed them, and then gone back and, read the rest.
How did you hear about the cheese festival here in Little Falls?
Well, so there was a man from Creamhill Dairy Farms called Bruce Rivington, and he found my books in the library, and read them, loved them, and messaged me and just said, hey, I love your books. And I just adore when anybody in the cheese field reads my books and likes them, because I work really hard to celebrate the cheese, even though it's a mystery and that's first and foremost. I really, I do a lot for that. And I try to make it, even though I'm not a cheesemonger, I don't know a ounce and 100th of what cheesemongers or cheesemakers know about cheese, but I do a lot of research and I really try to. And so when I have, and I have had, cheese shop owners and cheesemongers and cheesemakers reach out to me and say they've read my books and loved them. And that just warms my heart. So anyway, we became, friendly online when he reached out. He was kind enough to send me a little sample pack, a big sample pack actually, of his beautiful butter and buttermilk and all these wonderful things that they sell. And then he ended up mentioning to Terry, who runs the, cheese festival, about me. And so she contacted me and said, we'd love to have you here. And I said, yeah, absolutely. How did I miss this? Oh my God, the whole cheese festival. I mean,
Yeah, the biggest one in the Northeast now, come on. How
yes,
come you weren't
I
up on that?
know. I don't know where I've been. Well, I know where I've been. I've been in my head in the, writing books. They came out every 6 months. So I wasn't
I,
doing much except writing and marketing, but darn it, I wish I had heard about it earlier, but I'm so excited about it.
well, this is the 10th year, so it's been around for a little bit, and I'm
Yes,
sure it'll be
it
around
has.
for a bit more. So
Yeah.
are you working on a seventh book?
I'm not actually. The series is now complete at 6. So I'm thinking of either perhaps independently continuing the series, but right now I think I'm going to shift to maybe another type of mystery. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm still rolling around ideas in my head.
I don't know, kind of a murder at a cheese festival, with
Right,
15,000 suspects.
I
I
know.
mean, you want me to write the intro for you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. I will get a lot of ideas.
EMS was at the wrong side of the festival. It happened at the opposite end by City Hall. I mean,
Oh,
during
I know.
the second string marching band. I mean, come on, this is
I
like
know.
the perfect
It's all going to
playground.
be my lap. I might have to write another.
So, you're coming here. What are you going to do when you're here? What are people going to see? What can they expect?
So see my books. Obviously, I'll have all my books. The first
Yep.
one's Cheddar Off Dead and Gone for Gouda,
I love the titles.
Birds of Prey, uh,
uh,
Taste of the Blues,
uh,
Fondue or Die, and Bait and Swiss is the last one. And
yeah. You took a lot of time on these titles, didn't you?
yes, oh yeah, you have to have a punny title.
Oh
You
yeah.
must. If you're in the cozy mystery field, you must. And I also I have the first one and the second one also will be in Spanish language. It was translated to Spanish,
Oh wow, that's great.
and yeah, it was in Spain. It's been being sold in Spain, so that's exciting. So I have a few copies of those. But so I'll be selling and signing my books there. So you'll
Okay, and
see next to the New York cheese. Um, what are they called?
Booth. Oh,
Yeah,
Booth.
cheese.
I think they're in the middle of the street,
Yes,
aren't
they're in
they?
the middle. So
Yeah,
I'm
they're
right
about
next to
halfway
them.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll be right next to them, selling and signing my books.
With 15,000 people, you might have to have a car full.
Yes, I have quite a few, so fingers crossed that everybody will enjoy them.
No, I think it's fun. I think it's fun for people to meet authors and talk to them and be
Mhm,
able to hear about the books. And I think if somebody sits there and they thumb through it a little bit, they might go, you
mhm.
know what, give me all six, kind
Yeah,
of thing.
I
So
hope so, I hope so, and that's one of my favorite parts of being an author is, talking to readers and other people and cheese lovers, and, just connecting with people is fantastic.
yeah. Um, do you have a website or
I
anywhere
do,
else where people? Okay, what is it?
I do. It's KorinaMossAuthor.com.
All right. I'll make sure I get that up on the screen.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say before you show up here in a week and a half?
Oh, I'm just excited, and I'm gonna be buying lots of cheese too, so I can't wait.
Bring the cooler, leave the
Yes.
dog at home. You know the rules, right?
Yes, absolutely. I have a cat, so she won't be
All
coming.
right. She'll be fine. She'll be
Yeah,
fine. All right.
yeah.
Well, thank you, Karina. I appreciate you being on the show, and we will see you next weekend. And thank you, everyone else, for joining in. And we'll see you next time on Small Town Life.